IRL, the race has started already, and we will soon be seeing that here on the restream.
And they're off. Willard going right to the sanctuary. So is Xyrak, and they find the hook shot.
I love that. In open mode, the hookshot is, outside of getting the ice rod, probably my favorite item. So many movement options and so many safeties. It freezes a lot of enemies, and some of the lower health enemies, it even kills them.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a nice, and they'll be able to see what the stun prize is from the enemies. Hopefully, if they find something to kill them with, maybe it might even be bombs. Get lucky.
And we see on Willard's screen here, he's setting up for the Houlihan room, a popular move to do really early on, so that way you can net that 200 rupees.
Yeah. Oh, and Xyrak finding the prize pack for the hoarders, actually bombs. So
Beautiful.
Perfect for him.
Yeah, both of our racers getting an early lead. Willard with about 225 rupees, and Xyrak here with a full rack of bombs.
Oh, unfortunately, Willard hoping to pick up an item from that guard, but nope, no dice.
Yeah, looking like Willard's going to be heading towards escape. And both of our racers making excellent use of the hookshot. It can pick up on bushes, trees, fences, so there's a lot of movement options early on. Just don't do it on too many rocks. Some of them don't work well.
Yeah, and Xyrak picking up 300 rupees here is definitely going to put him a little bit ahead in the rupee count. Oh, but we found boots! Willard picking up boots from the uncle.
Old man still always got something nice these days.
So, prize pack from the from the green guards. Willard's got his first bomb as Xyrak heads into the Kakariko village thieves hut here. We're gonna see what's behind all these chests over here and behind the wall.
Yeah, it's pretty scary. I mean, while Xyrak did get like the boost with the 300 rupees and all these early bombs, Willard having the boots is going to allow him to basically encroach closer on getting some sort of a lead set up here. Early game, it's like a lead really isn't all that important. It usually comes down to your mid game, where you choose to go, where your gambles are. But to whoever can get to that mid-game section faster. Let's hope that Xyrak can get over to... Ooh, that's unfortunate. It looks like Xyrak accidentally thought he was using the hookshot and utilized 2 bombs.
Yeah, he'll still have enough bombs to make it through Kakariko, but depending upon if he finds any more, he might have to pick up some.
Ooh!
Power glove.
That's good for Xyrak. And flippers.
Flippers.
One more chest. Oh,
just 300 rupees, but that leads him closer to Zora with 500 rupees needed to obtain the item from Zora.
And it's great too.
Closer.
Yeah, Xyrak doesn't have to use fake flippers, so if he gets hit in the water, there's no fear of, backtracking and trying to force your way back through that way. We're seeing on Willard's screen full crystal light world.
Yeah, that's got to be exciting for him. Hopefully that means the oh my god, Xyrak finding the hammer in the chicken hut. Willard
Dark
right
World
behind
access. Him. Holy crud. Dark World access in the first 5 minutes of a seed.
Just need to find the moon pearls so they can at least not be bunnies. But yeah, that's amazing. Power glove and hammer and hookshot and flippers within the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, with how most 26 seeds have gone, you do have to ask your question, is this really a version 26 seed?
Yeah.
So we see Xyrak is making his way through the race, more than likely going to save and quit. Let's hope that he goes up to escape to get himself a pair of red stilettos. And Willard getting the rest of the money and his flippers and his power glove.
Oh, no, he's going back to Sanctuary. He has the power gloves. He might think that the option is Death Mountain. So he's got power gloves and hookshot, so he might make his way through Dark Death Mountain. But no, it looks like instead he's opting to go into the back part of Escape, which is not a bad thing either.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you don't find the lamp here or a small key, definitely coming here because you're gonna have to save and quit out anyway. So I agree with this play 100%. See, we got a burrito, a heart piece, and the lamp. So yeah,
That's
I can't.
A great find.
Yeah, I can't imagine that Xyrak won't be heading up towards Death Mountain anytime soon. Actually, you know what? Hookshot and hammer, we could see a full escape clear coming up soon.
Yeah, they could go all the way also to Tower of Hera. Interestingly enough, that could be their first dungeon.
Oh yeah, if Xyrak finds the mirror here in the mini Moldorm cave, absolutely, Hera is completely on the table. But yeah, I mean, because going the long way around Death Mountain, it's a lot of item checks, but you know, we know that Hera is a crystal, and if you can get a crystal dungeon complete, that is always much more favorable than, you know, checking a couple of overworld locations.
Exactly, and he does have a fire source for the basement, with him having the lamp, so it could be suggesting, hey, go to Tower of Hera.
Beautiful. I love this cave. Both of my boomerangs, one of my favorite utility items in this game, in one location. I'm more of a blue boom guy. I know a lot of people like the red boomerang, but I'm more of a blue boom guy.
I actually have to agree. I do like the blue boomerang better. Stuns more enemies because it doesn't do as much damage.
Oh yeah. Plus, the utilization of it in Ganon's tower to like hold on to a little bit more magic along the way, as opposed to using those Kinasamara to toggle those crystal switches.
All right, Bonk Rocks. Unfortunately, just giving 20 rupees. We're about to see some hobo love under the bridge.
Oh yeah. So it looks like both of our runners looking at these obscure locations, the Bonk Rocks and the hobo, and finding nothing, unfortunately.
Yeah, and it looks like Willard is heading towards the Ice Rod Cave here. Xyrak heads towards the Waterfall Ferry. Xyrak actually is a little bit short on rupees for Zora.
Yeah,
as
probably
Willard
hoping.
picked up a bunch from the Houlihan room. Ooh, he's a little bit shy still, and we know that the Sun Prize pack for enemies is bombs, so...
Yeah, this could be really risky. We could see Xyrak stuck here for a little bit as he farms the Zoras for more than likely 1 rupee drop a piece. Oh, nope, just sees the bomb on the ledge and decides, alright, the Zora play, not really for me. So back up at Sanctuary for Xyrak. Interested to see where he goes from now. I'm willing to bet it's a Death Mountain play.
Yeah, that's definitely a reasonable option. Xyrak still hasn't gone to Sahasrahla or dipped into Eastern, which is another play that he could do. It doesn't have the bow, so it's not necessarily the... Could maybe not be the right play, because he does have to complete Eastern Palace anyways. But this is definitely a reasonable play as well.
Yeah, I'm noticing that like Sahasrahla and Eastern Palace often actually have something that helps break the see-through. And with like how the tournament's been going, not a lot of plays have been made over there early. With what we've seen in the previous tournament, you know, Kakariko seems to be favorable. In this case, it was amazing, but it still seems that like, you know, that whole the internal route of, you know, you check here first, you check here second, still seems to be a major part of open mode.
Yeah, I think the percentage chart that they did, Eastern Palace had a 19% chance to have an item in comparison to some of the other dungeons.
Was that math that I heard today?
Yeah, it was.
You know, I do like a little bit of extra information on like the dungeon. So 19% is for Eastern Palace in this this current version.
That's correct.
That's crazy.
Oh
Ooh.
my god, it's the ice rod. Oh, this is gonna be interesting for Xyrak. Hopefully he remembers, especially if Turtle Rock is gonna be a crystal dungeon. Hopefully he's gonna want to go back.
Yeah, we have a way into the Dark World to see what it is, but I mean, outside of gathering information, that's all we got. I mean, we're not gonna have any way of doing anything about it.
Nope, no Moon Pearl yet. But
That's a
Xyrak finding the
literacy.
book. The literate well, and the first sword, the fighter sword. Oh, unfortunately
Beautiful.
Willard did not get that hookshot glitch through the block into the dam that he was trying to do.
Beautiful bomb drop from Xyrak here.
Absolutely. Just 20 soggy rupees.
All right, so finding a sword here. I mean, you got the hammer, so an easy kill on Moldorm is not confirmed, but like it's much easier to utilize the hammer for that 3-hit. But I mean, still having the sword do, like, if he's pushing you against the wall, having the sword out, definite safety from Moldorm.
That was Silver's, by the way, on that island. So Silver's are on the floating island up by Turtle Rock.
Interesting. Xyrak using something that we don't see quite often, which is if you have only the level 1 sword and you use the book, the tablets will tell you what they have. So Xyrak finding out that it's just pocket change at Ether, and Willard giving that generous guy a little bit of a stare down. Like, really? Did you just give me a red boomerang and I find a blue boomerang? Beautiful. You love to see that in Hera. The big key early on. We still are not sure if Tau Room is in play, but you know, it's great to have a little bit knowledge of, like, all right, you don't have to waste about a minute in Tau Room just to get through this dungeon.
Yeah, and Willard is heading towards Sahashala. So both players taking completely different routing and paying off in different ways, with Xyrak having the fighter sword and the book, Willard having the ice rod and the boots. And now a fighter sword, so we have now access to 2 separate swords.
Yeah, unfortunately, Xyrak does not have the boots, so has to go and check this top chest from falling down, as opposed to if he were to have gone to escape a little bit earlier, would be able to hookshot over and then bonk across the hole that's made with the star things. So 1 item so far found in this dungeon, which is a piece of heart. So Moldorm and Tau Room are still in play.
So Willard making the Hyrule Castle play here. Going down to Zelda's dungeon.
Oh yeah. Escape is really great to make. I mean, there's really no requirements for items with a logic in here, so a lot of potential can still be in this dungeon. We know that the map is in the final room, as well as the lamp is.
Yep.
Ooh, a burrito from Moldorm. So yes, Tau Room is necessary for that last item check in this dungeon.
14 minutes in, our first crystal obtained by Xyrak in Tower of Hera. So that's actually really great. That's a really great time. It's not often
yeah.
we see people 14 minutes in getting their first crystal.
Oh yeah, and it's really not often, especially in version 26, that we see, people with Dark World access outside of the Moon Pearl in under 5 minutes.
And Xyrak opting not to go for that basement room. Might be taking the gamble that it's not needed. Oh, and we're seeing the Ice Rod strats. Frozen guard throw for Willard.
That is my favorite strat for taking care of the ball and chain guard.
Absolutely, mine too.
And the disrespect, too. Destroying your weapon, leaving no evidence, but ultimately disrespecting that poor green guard.
Willard just finding Zelda's love dungeon down there. Getting the piece of heart. So it looks like he's now going to be picking up the remainder of the items here. There is still the one chest that we don't know what is in the dark area of escape. So we might see Willard picking up Lamp here and going to go check it out because he does have the key.
Absolutely. Yeah, I do the same thing too. Find that torch in there and just go straight south.
Ooh, perfect boomerang throw there, grabbing the key from Willard as Xyrak's about to find his soggy rupees.
Yeah, that Saga Rupees might have been good to see early on when he was on his way to head over to Zora, but right now, probably going to be a little bit upset to just, drain this dam, come down here and be like, all right, it was only 20? Whatever.
Yeah, and interestingly enough, once Willard goes up to Death Mountain, he's going to find the book. He's going to be able to complete Desert Palace as well. Not only Tower of Hera, but also Desert Palace.
Oh, yeah. But, see, here's the dangerous thing. Xyrak is coming in here without the boots. It's a really low chance that the boots are not required for Desert. There's only so many possibilities for, that item to be on the torch and not the smaller the big key.
Yeah, it's a 50-50 chance. You only have 2 chests to choose from, or basically a bonk torch and the chest. So hopefully there's something not required, like the map or the compass on there.
Yeah, I'm a little bit worried for Xyrak, but I love the play. I mean, I love the risk. Completely choosing to not go through the Tower Room in Hera and just go straight on, continuing to check the remaining locations that he has in Light World, looking for the Moon Pearl, or looking for a way into Aghanim's Tower, which we know Willard's going to be checking that side area of Death Mountain, getting that 2nd level sword.
Yeah, and I think Willard's probably going to opt to skip that heart. He'll feel pretty comfortable with his heart total at the moment, except for if he gets hit by a dead rock on the way down.
Yeah, looking really scary here for Willard on Death Mountain. Excellent use of the double tap, really making sure that the dead rocks are not blocking his way. So it looks like Xyrak found himself a small key in Desert, so far looking good for this 2nd crystal for him. Needs to find the big key in these 2 chests.
And there it is. So hopefully it's a map or a compass sitting on that torch. Then he's not going to need to come back again. Oh. Ooh. Well, that reduces that chance quite significantly.
Yeah, but with the plethora of items that are randomized in chests, it could still be an item that he's happy to see up on that torch. Either like a green rupee, anything that he doesn't readily need. The bug net would also be something. I mean, we'll always love to see a bug net Aghanim, but for Xyrak's sake, seeing this, he's gonna be like, oh, thank you. Let's see what it is.
Oh no! It's the Moon
Oh no!
Well, as someone was saying in chat, unfortunately, that luck very quickly ran out with the Moon Pearl, and there's the second item, so we know that Landmolus does not have the last item. Landmolus has the map.
Now, Sakura, I have to ask you, out of all the possible items that you could see up there that you need the boots to acquire, is that like the absolute worst given the items that you currently have?
Actually, I would have to say that is the best. One of the best, because there's not much you can do in Dark World if you don't have the Moon Pearl, which means it limits where the boots can be. So you're able to at least know, hey, the boots are somewhere in the Light World. Could either be Eastern, could be Escape, or where we know is the Uncle. So it does limit that quite significantly.
You know, I mean, it makes a lot of sense that it's not all that bad, but you also have to think, you're 21 minutes in this seed, you see the Moon Pearl there, that means early boots. Are you worried that your opponent has already found the boots, and how long have they had them?
Oh, absolutely. Especially once I would find them at the Uncle, I would be very concerned, because at the beginning of the game, a lot of players route the overworld differently, and I know a lot of people start at Link's house and then check Uncle and that first chest, and then save and quick go to Sanctuary. So I'd be worried that my opponent maybe had, decided to use that strat, and would be a little bit concerning for me. And Xyrak doesn't have the Ice Rod from Zora, so he has to do the Fighter Sword, Landmolus, or Hammer strats. Ooh.
I like using the hammer on him. Yeah, it looks like he's not doing too bad. He's getting a couple of sword spins. He's getting a couple of hammers in there. It's a tough fight. The hitbox for this boss is around its head, and so as we know, the hammer has a notoriously difficult hitbox.
Yeah, absolutely. But Xyrak is making good use of it. Already destroyed one of the heads. Oh, and got a double hit there with the hammer as well.
Yeah, I'm loving that. The end of that entire fight came down really nicely.
Yeah, and Willard with the Master Sword strats on Moldorm, getting his first crystal. Xyrax picks up his second crystal. I wonder if Xyrax is worried now that skipping that chest in Tower of Hera was a big mistake. I wonder if he's thinking, oh my goodness, what if that's the boots?
It's looking like Xyrak is thinking, okay, what haven't I checked yet? What's been available to me? And I think he's going to make that play. He's heading up towards Escape right now, going to get the boots. And I think as soon as we see him get those boots, we're going to see a return to Desert Palace, and he's going to be picking up that Moon Pearl. So Xyrak is going to give us our first look into Dark World.
Yeah, it looks like Willard is opting to just take the tiles to the face, or the back, I guess.
I'm not sure if he's planning a death warp.
It looks like he might be. He doesn't have mirror to leave, but he might want to save and quit. I don't know if he did Spiral Cave, so he might want to death warp to Spiral Cave instead.
Xyrak, boots in hand, opting to check the rest of Escape.
Yeah, and then these players are going to be fairly close together. So Xyrak not grabbing this chest in Hera was actually a good play for him. Just an inventory upgrade. But depending upon if he remembers that he still has Zora left to do, and if Turtle Rock is required, we may see him go back and check it eventually.
Yeah, I mean, we know that the Tower Room and Hera doesn't really provide anything of consequence, but Xyrak unfortunately doesn't know. So that chest is going to be an anxiety in his head for a while.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
until he hits that go mode, and depending on how hard it is to obtain this last item, we may see a return to Hera for Xyrak.
So in Xyrak completing what Willard's done, Willard will be heading towards desert, I believe, at this point. That would be the logical play.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you got the book in hand, you got a fire source, it's another crystal in your pocket. Why would you not?
Exactly.
Ooh, a little bit of trouble here on Xyrak's screen. He's down to half a heart.
Yeah, he's hoping to death warp. He needs to grab that key before that guard wakes up. Oh
Oh no!
no! That's the second race I've commentated that's happened.
Xyrak just needing one extra piece of heart for that refill. Unfortunately, picking that up. Now, see, here's something interesting. Xyrak making his way back to Desert Palace, picking up his Moon Pearl. Willard is going to be able to complete this dungeon, but since for Xyrak, this is just going to be like a quick in and out kind of a situation because he knows where he's going. He knows what he's going to obtain.
Yeah, he's about to pick up his Moon Pearl. That's going to be really good for him. And he's going to be able to go, both players going to be able to go straight to Dark World right after. And with multiple portals in the overworld for the Dark World that use the hammer, that's actually probably the better of the two items to get to go to the Dark World is hammer. Access is a lot more than just the Titan's Mist.
Oh yeah, they have full range of Dark World outside of the mirror. They got the hook shot, they got the hammer, they have a lift upgrade and flippers. So anywhere that they kind of want to get to, they can. A beautiful Moon Pearl for our Moogle friend. As Willard making his way through the last bit of this dungeon, more than likely going to check the final location here, find that item and go, okay, good, you know, I have both items in this dungeon. I can complete it without worry.
There's the last item. For Willard getting his refill, decides to save and quit, so he's not going to do Lan Molis. He will probably be coming back later because of his equipment. I know that Willard prefers to do it with more equipment, so he could potentially pair it with Misery Mire if he gets the flute, if Misery Mire is a required dungeon as well. So
yeah, but it is dangerous. I mean, he was within about a minute and a half of completing that dungeon, having a second crystal in hand. Willard with a advantage here with the bottle to check the sick kid, only gets 50 rupees. But I mean, I don't know. It's a tough call to make. You know, you get the Moon Pearl, you find the second item, you decide to save and quit out to get to that Dark World access, or spend that extra minute and a half early into the seed. So Turtle Rock not required. Swamp is your green pennant, and Ice is your red pennant. So yeah, outside of bow and flute. So yeah, they are going to need to go there. So that's not too bad for Willard. He's going to be happy to see that crystal location down there.
It looks like Willard is going for a pedestal check. Let's get some pedestals in hype and let's see what we've got here. Oh, just couch cash.
So yeah, that small glimmer of hope that Ice Rod that Willard found really early, still having a purpose in this seed, completely shot away now.
Yeah,
So Xyrak
absolutely.
here giving us a little bit of overworld location checking here. Mushroom inside the bombable hut.
Interestingly enough, just because it is a pendant does not mean that Turtle Rock is not required. We've seen a lot of seeds in this version that require even double dipping sometimes in dependent dungeons. So we could even eventually see them having to go all the way to the end. If there's a required item there, let's say bow, for instance.
You know what? You're right. Definitely jumping the gun there with that that ice rod thing. You know, Trinex could be the ultimate troll in this seed and hold on to an item that is stunting our runners.
And looks like big key right away here in Skullwoods.
Yeah, Willard's making that Skullwoods has something play. Meanwhile, Xyrak is making his way through Thieves Town, working on his third crystal.
We've seen a lot of progression items in Skullwoods in this version, so this is definitely a good play.
Yeah, Willard's hoping that it's front loaded, so we see powder.
Yeah, that's actually nice for Thieves Town.
I knew you'd get there.
Eventually, yeah. It sometimes takes a bit.
Oh no, we're all excited. I mean, both of these racers now have a fetch quest item in hand. Willard choosing not to go and check that big chest. Nothing at the Cape Cave, just 5 rupees.
So we might see a Thieves Town dive here from Willard as well. Again, with this logic, a lot of the items have been found in dungeons. So you'll see these players potentially opt to skip out on a lot of overworld stuff, more to dive into dungeons, even multiple times.
Yeah, Xyrak being careful here, still only has the fighter sword. Has not been to that cave in Death Mountain, getting his upgraded sword, even though he was in that area.
Xyrak actually got that one.
Oh yeah, that's right. The second sword for Xyrak will be in Sahasrah's hut.
That's correct. And that was Sankheart, I think, for Willard.
Yes, chat is double reminding me of of this sword situation for Xyrak. I can always count on you, chat. You got my back.
Ooh, and it looks like just a green rupee in the maiden's chest. Having the hammer, though, not gonna need to come into Thieves Town twice. Gonna be able to quickly grab this big chest. Oh my god, but it's the fire rod!
That is lovely. That is a lovely item to find here. So Fire Rod, Xyrak more than likely gonna go up north to Skullwoods.
This race is definitely heating up. And the lucky thing for Xyrak is that he doesn't require a better sword with blind. Just need 3 hits with any kind of sword, or even the hammer, to progress to the next phase.
Yeah, it's gonna be a little bit scary for Xyrak if he chooses to go up and defeat Mothula with the fighter sword. It doesn't have a bottle, can't get a magic refill. So yeah, this could be a very interesting fight. We could see some hammer strats on Mothula.
and he might just opt to go into Skullwoods just to see what the items are that are there. He might save the actual boss for later.
Let's see what he does. So Willard's finishing up Thieves Town here. He's gonna be excited once he sees that fire rod. Now, I for one know Willard to be a early Turtle Rock gambler, so as soon as Titan's Mitt comes into play, if Willard is still looking for items, we could see him head over to Death Mountain, try to get that information as to, you know, what does Turtle Rock need to get in, and what am I hoping is inside this dungeon to give me that advantage.
And there's the fire rod for Willard. So the other big thing for Turtle Rock is going to be, of course, the Cane of Samaria. I think once he has both of those, yeah, Willard's definitely been known to gamble multiple times, Turtle Rock. So and it is a lot, again, more dungeon. Oh, Xyrak getting grabbed in Skull Woods, unfortunately for him.
Yeah, it was at that final stretch, and just needing to get that chest to get that small key, getting grabbed. It's gonna send him back a little bit, not too far behind though. Yeah, almost getting grabbed again. That is, Wall Masters are a very unfortunate enemy. Xyrak just trying to make sure that he's not going to get grabbed again while picking up that item.
And interestingly enough, this is basically going to bring both players back to the same point. With neither player having any sort of significant lead or anything. Willard is basically done what Xyrak has in Skull Woods, and Xyrak has done what Willard just did in Thieves Town, so Willard with the fire ride looks like he might be heading back towards Mothula. Nope.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, he is.
Yeah, Master Sword. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, I was just gonna say, for a second I saw him turn right, and I thought he might have decided not to go there.
Yeah. Oh no! I was just gonna comment that Master Sword Mothula is not as bad, but Xyrak unfortunately getting grabbed by another Wallmaster. He needs to watch out. Getting grabbed by a Wallmaster after you get through that Gibdo room, where you have to light all the torches, is super dangerous if he uses the fire rod, because he could run into a situation where he needs to farm for magic.
Yeah, and in a situation where both players are so close, you definitely don't want to have to do that.
Looks like Xyrak playing it safe, knowing that he has the fighter sword and needs to use the fire rod primarily to get through this dungeon. Chooses to use the torch on these as opposed to the fire rod.
And Willard just going all out with that fire rod.
Oh yeah, he's got an upgraded sword and he's got quite a lot of health, so he doesn't have too much really to worry about. Just needs to get like some additional spins on that boss. So both of our contenders gonna be at the same boss at the same time. Let's see who defeats them first.
That's, I think, Willard's last fire rod shot. He might be able to get one more off.
Yeah, I think he has one more shot, but Xyrak just getting really good luck with Mothula's placement to get that fire rod and make it stick as a hit.
Ooh, nice dodging for spikes here from both players.
Xyrak switching to the hammer. Gonna put that pest down. Oh, with the hammer!
Look at these guys!
Simultaneous.
Synced Mothula kills both crystals. at the same time.
This is crazy. This is crazy. Both of our contenders coming in with various different strategies, syncing up, defeating this boss. They're giving us a good show.
Yeah, this is definitely amazing. So I wonder at this point, Xyrak, I think, will probably head towards, oh, it looks like he's probably going to be heading towards Hype Cave.
I kind of would do the same thing too. I mean, he's been very lucky finding these items in like this routing. So his routing, unbeknownst to him, has just been very fortuitous for him. So kind of hoping to keep up that same trend. You know, he doesn't want to get into that area until he gets the mirror or the bow.
So it looks like Willard's going to clean up the rest of the Village of Outcasts. And Xyrak did grab the bottle from Hype Cave, but then immediately left?
Yeah, that was interesting. It looked like he decided to go north to go pick up some more bombs. And we can see already that that crystals 5 and 6 have already been found. The big bomb has already spawned at that hut. So a little bit curious as to why did he choose to go pick up the bombs now?
Oh, and the mirror and the bow! Is this an actual Hype Cave and bombos? Are you for real?
What is the seed? What am I seeing?
Cane of Samoria from Willard.
I can't anymore. I can't. I'm done.
It's too hype.
The seed has destroyed me.
This seed is too hype, guys.
All right, I'm back. Sorry. That was just too much to handle.
Oh my god, I can't believe what we've all found already. And half magic.
Okay. I'm not gonna freak out anymore. We possibly can't find any more items in that density between our razors, so we're gonna be fine.
I'm
Everything's gonna
wondering
be
at
fine.
this point, besides another medallion, whatever medallion they need for Misery Mire, that'll be it. And Xyrak, unfortunately, taking a death here. Oh,
Yeah.
did not get a chance to return that. Return the bomb to the double-chested fairy. Willard picking up his mirror and his bow.
It was such a beautiful hype cave that is. Xyrak, I think may opt to not do the big bomb. May go straight for Pod and Eastern. Nope, he's going right back for it.
Oh, it looks like actually I forgot. They still do need the flute. So that will be the flute, and then whatever medallion for Misery Mire will basically be whatever that they're looking for.
Yeah, for Xyrak, we know that the silvers are on the Lake Hylia Island. So that's really good news for Xyrak, being in close proximity to such a high damaging item. But yeah, let's take a brief look at what we got here. Xyrak needs the next level glove and the flute, as well as the Cane of Samaria. And Willard needs the flute and whatever medallion is necessary for Mire, as well as the next level lift upgrade.
Oh! Well, there's the shovel.
All right, another fetch quest item. So we've seen, I don't think we've seen any of them really pay off so far. So we haven't seen the dig game, or not the dig game, but we haven't seen the shovel used, the mirror used, or the powder used to check an item yet. All All right, Xyrak here making his way in a pod.
Yep, has enough rupees for Kiki the escort. But gonna be... Oh, nice! He's gonna be grabbing his sword right here. Opting to hop into Sahashila's house.
Oh, yeah.
Oh! Oh! Willard leaving the Swaggin' rod behind.
You gotta feel bad about that. But what you're not gonna feel bad about is for Xyrak getting his Master Sword, and the couple extra pots down there are not too bad for a heart refill.
Yeah, you saw that Willard did think about picking it up, but then opted to not.
Yeah, he teased us with it. He knows how badly you want it, chat. But I mean, I don't blame him. In this situation, he's in a race. He's wanting to go as fast as possible, and wants to find the remaining item that he needs in order to just go mode the rest of this game. So we're getting a little bit of buffering on Xyrak, unfortunately. So we're not going to be able to give you a strong play-by-play.
The good thing about this for Xyrak is he's able to quickly clear. He's able to clear pod. He's not missing any items, which lately we've seen a lot of times people dipping into pod because they don't have the bow and hoping that that first chest is a key. Luckily, he has the bow because that first chest actually was a compass. And he's going towards the door and then realizes, oh wait, I need a key. Decides to go down into the mimic area. So Willard also heading towards pod. He's going to be able to mirror over and do Eastern right after too. Both players able to do that with their current equipment.
Absolutely.
So you'll see a lot of the beginning of pod is going to be front loaded with keys, and that's of course to prevent soft locking. So we should see probably two small keys probably here.
Yeah, the only other item that I've really seen in this chest is the big key. It's not too often that you actually see something of consequence in there. So, interesting divergence here. Willard choosing to go into Eastern Palace first.
Well, Eastern Palace has been known to hoard some good items. Potentially the flutes?
Yeah, we shall see. I mean, both of our racers are going to complete these dungeons simultaneously. So it's going to be just one after another. Xyrak going to be doing pod into Eastern, and Willard doing the inverse of that.
Eastern pod.
I don't know. What are your preferences on that? Do you like to get the light roll dungeon out of the way first, or do you like to go for the more dangerous, longer dungeon and then just blast through Eastern?
Well, I think that I would probably opt to go into Eastern Palace first as well, only because of the fact that if you do happen to miraculously find the 3 items you need for go mode in here, then you don't need to do a lot of hunting. You just find the big key in pod and go straight to the boss. The likelihood of that happening, though, is almost next to none.
Yeah, the seed has been extremely generous. It gave us probably like the most hypest cave that I've ever seen in a randomizer. So we could see a dungeon paying off in such a way. Alright, well, that's looking much less likely now.
Yep. 50 rupees in the big chest here.
Fortunately, Xyrak just finding a lot of bombs in this dungeon.
Yeah, so we're seeing both players make pretty quick work of these dungeons. With having the boots this early, it's definitely nice.
Yeah, and don't get down. Willard may be one crystal behind, but if you're a Willard fan and you're rooting for him, he has to do Mire anyway. So it's a short amount of time that Willard is behind in crystals. It's just about a minute and a half. So depending on who gets that flute first and the Titan's mitts, this could be a real quick, like, you know, a lead taking for either one of our racers.
Xyrak's a little bit low on health here.
Gonna be making it to these pots over here on the side with the sexy statue room. Gonna pick up 3 of them here. But without Samara, has to move that statue onto position.
And very nice quick kill on those on the red Igors there.
Uh-oh. Willard shot 1 less arrow, so may get a phase 3. Yep.
Yep. And unfortunately, looks like Eastern only netted him some rupees. This is probably the Seed's way of saying, we left the net behind, how could you? So they have Ice Palace, Swamp Palace, and Turtle Rock as pendant dungeons. And I know Swamp Palace can have mitts in it. As for Turtle Rock and Ice Palace, neither of those can have the mitts in that dungeon. So, but basically any dungeon except for Misery Mire can hold the flute, and that's what's going to be, it's like the Ice Rod version for Misery Mire.
Yeah,
Only required for 1 dungeon and could literally be almost anywhere except for Misery Mire.
Yeah, I'm thinking that Swamp is going to be the best play for some of these items.
Ooh, low hearts here for Xyrak. He needs to be careful, but very nicely done. Nice Helmosaur kill for Xyrak.
Yeah, I think we're gonna see another a close to sync situation coming up here soon, because Willard has already gone through Eastern, knows everything that's in there, doesn't need anything else. Got to go through Palace of Darkness, more than likely going to clear it. And Xyrak still needs to check a couple of items in Eastern. So yeah, I mean, I'm definitely with you on this one. Swamp Palace has to be what our racers are looking for in the seed.
Yeah, absolutely. So Willard grabbing out the mirror here. I guess to grab the chest and maybe go back to the beginning? Or is it for... That's an interesting place to pull out the mirror.
It's not too bad, because yeah, he was gonna go down here, check this location, get a small key, and then mirror out.
Yes, because he's already done right side.
Yeah, chat is calling out a potential item that's gonna hurt Xyrak, which is the Cane of Samaria, found at the digging game. So
And
Willard
we've seen-
is. Go
Sorry,
ahead.
I was gonna say, we've seen Xyrak's preference is mostly dungeons and a few places that have a large quantity of chests, but has skipped a lot of overworld places that Willard has checked.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing that Xyrak needs to get a hold of soon. With the mirror in tow, we may see that after a Swamp Palace visit, if he decides to go that route. As leaving that area and with the book and the Master Sword in hand, might see more overworld location checking. So Bombos, the wart spot above Graveyard, leading up towards the digging game. None of the fetch quest items have been checked, so except for with the exception of the shovel, shovel leads to the
Swagged
bug net.
rod. Yeah. Yeah, they still haven't checked mushroom or powder. So we could see the witch holding on to something interesting. So as Xyrak's heading up towards Armos, Willard is now heading towards Helmasaur. So again, with both players heading into their bosses for their dungeons, we're gonna see them both fairly close together.
That's interesting. Willard did find half magic going around on his exploit, so half magic is extremely advantageous going into some of these later fights in the game. Ice Palace, not being necessary, but if Colster is holding an item, Misery Mire, being able to utilize any kind of safeties or powder up all your enemies. I mean, half magic is a great thing to have.
Yeah, he did find it at Stumpy as well. So depending upon what they decide, or what Xyrak decides to do for Overworld, he could end up running across it as well.
I wouldn't doubt it. If he decides to take that route, then yeah, he's definitely going to be finding that half magic.
Willard's got the interesting rupee count here, and he's being chased by a turtle.
No doubt a consequence of that rupee count. I think he's trying to manipulate Helmasaur.
Xyrak looks like he's heading towards Swamp. 6 potential items in Swamp, and has all the required items to complete it.
Yeah, this is definitely the play to make. This is where our theory is coming together for this. And Xyrak is only 1 crystal away, so needs that flute, needs that Titan's Mitt, and then hoping that Bombos is the entrance for that dungeon. As Chad is pointing out, Swamp Palace is the green pendant. So we could see a full clear coming from Xyrak here. That shovel's good for Xyrak. It's going to send him in that direction.
Yeah, absolutely. But so he still has multiple other fetch quests though. So it looks like he is going to be heading towards Stumpy, and that's going to give him half magic, as well as the mirror ledge here, which I think was just a bomb inventory upgrade, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. But see, here's the interesting thing. Xyrak, who's been dungeon focused this entire run, choosing to go overworld location checking over the dungeons. Hasn't seen too much pay out and has seen overworld just be extremely generous.
So just 20 rupees in Agina's cave here. Willard looks like he's cleaning up some of the overworld locations. And Xyrak is about to pick up his Cane of Samaria.
Yeah, this is good. This is good for Xyrak if you're rooting for him. So it's going to put him on par as far as items are concerned with Willard, but maintains that crystal lead. What a beautiful cane hidden underground. So it looks like Willard heading towards some fetch quests.
So interestingly enough, Xyrak, after just picking up the shovel, did not mirror into the overworld to check the digging spot, even whilst literally being in the same area.
We see the magic cape come from the bat.
So it looks like Xyrak is heading in the swamp.
Yeah.
And Willard is heading up Death Mountain. Could we see a spike cave check?
It's possible. It's really his only play left here in this area. So, unfortunately, yeah, it looks like Xyrak is kind of going along the lines of, you know, what's going to be helping his situation, you know, getting the most item checks. But we could still see a huge twist here if the item that one of our racers is looking for in this spike cave is the flute or the Titan's mitt. That's going to be huge for Willard.
Gotta be really careful with this cape. It does have a second activation. Can't immediately equip it. Unfortunately, just getting 20 rupees though. That unfortunately not paying out for him.
Yeah, it's funny that you say that about the cape. A lot of racers don't know that. They usually wait till like the last heart, switch over to the cape, and then try to activate it. Sometimes in racing, just ended up dying on the spike cave. And it's always unfortunate because it forces them to go through that same amount of animations. They got to go through there, mirror over there, and head right back in. And it's just so many lives are lost needlessly with the cave delay. Version 27, please fix.
It looks like Willard is heading back into the village of Outcasts. He might be opting to check the back chest at Sanctuary, as well as the Titans, as well as the King's Tomb.
Yeah,
So again,
I
more
definitely like
overworld
that.
for Willard.
Something else that can happen if I missed it, I apologize. But the dwarven breadsmiths can be checked as well. Oh no, wait, no, sorry. I forget myself. You need the Titan's mitts. Ignore me.
Yeah, and he did check the bat. So there's not much, but what Willard can do is he can combine the back chest at Sanctuary, the King's Tomb, as well as Catfish and the Witch all together, if he decides to do all of them at once. So depending upon how he routes this, and if it pays off, it could be something very good. So it looks like Xyrak still not finding anything of significance in Swamp Palace. It is a green pendant though, so depending upon what Sahashala has, it could be something really good, but I take all that back because there is Titan's Mitt!
So crazy! So there are still 2 items left in this dungeon. So our prediction of a Flute Titan's Mitt combination can still be alive and well.
Yep. Yeah, this is looking interesting for Willard. He's still checking overworld locations. He does have that up on Xyrak. He has checked more overworld locations, but with Titan's Mitts being in this dungeon, that might be something that might be a big deal, actually, depending upon where this flute is.
Yeah, we saw on Xyrak he was having a little bit of trouble with Argus, had to use his blue goo in order to refill the health and magic. Master Sword Argus is not an easy task. Often we see our racers coming here with the Temper Sword, but he gets the double Fire Rod hit on Argus as well as the spin. So yeah, as soon as Argus drops down, gets that extra spin on him. So it just bombs from the boss. Still needs to check the left side of this dungeon. But we've already seen Xyrak leave one chest behind. So we may see that happen exactly. Nope, goes right back in.
Yeah, looks like he's going left side.
Yeah, at about an hour in, Xyrak left the chest in Hera alone down in the tower room. We know it's nothing, but I don't think Xyrak's willing to make that bet twice in a row.
Ether medallion from the Quickfish.
No, that's interesting. We still don't know what medallions are needed for either of these dungeons. Missing the big key, so gotta go to the left side. Thinking on it, decides to mirror out.
Well, he's missing 2 chests on the left side, so one has to be the big key, one has to be a compass somewhere, and that means only 1 item left in the dungeon. So I can see that gamble. He's already done it with Hera. Left 1 item behind.
It's definitely a scary gamble.
And interestingly enough, Willard heading right into Swamp as well. So he's going to be picking up his Titan's Mitts, and Xyrak heads back to the digging area or the grove to dig up that. And he was actually here a few moments ago to get the item from Stumpy.
Yeah, but with that Titan's Mitt in hand, can check the dwarven blacksmiths and the remainder of that area. So I don't blame him for making this decision. So we're gonna get a little bit more information. We know that the magic bat only has the cape, but there's still 2 locations in this area unchecked.
So we're gonna see our item dash with the hammer. So at the moment we're looking for flute and potentially another medallion.
All right, heart piece in the peg cave. So we still got Bread Smiths and Purple Chest to go.
And again, like we were mentioning earlier, flute is one of those items that can literally be anywhere except for Misery Mire. Kind of like the Ice Rod.
Yeah, flute's always a tough one. Early on, you kind of like to see it. Transport is a lot nicer. Later on, when you want it or need it, it's always I gotta say it's got to be on par with the Ice Rod, like you said. It's one of those items where you're sitting there going like, man, I know I need it. Where can it be?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And that's the worst, is just it could be anywhere. Actually, one of my favorite items to have be trolley is the hammer, because it actually limits a significant amount of where it could possibly be. Flute is not one that I'd like to be searching for personally.
Oh yeah, hammer, mirror, like we saw in this seed, the Titan's Mitt They are all items that like they only have a set amount of places where they can be, but they have a lot more places where they can't be. Xyrak here taking the purple chest on a bit of an adventure.
Yeah, really interesting because you can't dash with you can't dash with the purple chest. So, well, you can if you use the hook shot, but yeah, I'm actually surprised.
Looks like Xyrak is doing the last bit of all the overworld that he can. Now it'll be interesting if the flute is inside the purple chest, taking this thing all over to find it, and it was right behind him the whole time. All right, that has to be the big key vanilla location. So all eyes on Willard's stream to see what is the big chest in Swamp. If it's the flute, that could be very, very harmful to Xyrak.
Oh, absolutely.
Willard already with 2 out of 3 medallions, so it would put Willard in a very, very fortuitous situation.
Ooh, just bombs.
I got scared there for a second. I saw the blue. I almost flipped out with it's the flute, but yeah, upon second glance, just bombs. So Xyrak once again making the choice not to dip into these dungeons again, check out the final locations, and instead continue on his journey. Even taking the chest for a swim. I don't think I've ever seen that. I don't think I've ever seen anybody take the chest out for a swim.
No, but I think at this point, both players are pretty similar on where they've been. With Xyrak completing all this overworld stuff, the only thing that Willard is going to be short is going to be that boss kill for Desert Palace.
Willard grabbing his Titan's Mitt. Really happy to see that.
So Xyrax is hopefully remembers that he still has Zora. He did not do it earlier. It did have Ice Rod, but we don't know if Flute is sitting at Trinex or not.
And we have all the dark side of desert, or not desert. I keep saying desert, but I mean Death Mountain. Dark side of Death Mountain to check. See Willard trying to get a 2-for-1 situation, but only grabbing 1 puff at a time.
And
right,
Xyrak grabbing Ether.
I mean, it kind of is a bit of a desert mountain in a way. Yeah, the lunchbox adventure continues. So, along with taking the lunchbox for a swim, I think this is probably the longest I've seen somebody hold on to the purple chest.
Especially because it limits your dashing ability. I'm honestly surprised that he's taking it this far.
I mean, we're more than likely going to see a save and quit after this, so he's going to be back in that area in order to turn it in.
Yeah. All right. So Willard picking up Titan's Mitts looks like he might be going to Ice Palace. He could also head to Sahashala. Oh, get his green mail. Or blue mail is up on the floating island here.
All right, Xyrak, you took this chest around half of Hyrule. What does it hold?
Ah, it's just a heart piece.
It's all the love.
My
It didn't
gosh.
want to go. It left him a love note.
It looks like Willard is grabbing his blue mail, then heading up to Sahashrala to hand in that green pendant. What are we gonna get? Oh, just a green potion.
All right, and Xyrak is checking up the Death Mountain. Going to see what the dark side of that holds onto. Able to check every location and get some information on Turtle Rock. So we could still see a Turtle Rock play.
So Willard kind of deciding where he wants to go. Looks like he's heading into Dark World here.
Yeah, what a crazy seed this would turn out. Early game was a lot of items. Mid game was like a hype concentration of items. And then now we're in that desperation moment of, you know, all right, we're down to one item. Where can it be?
Yep.
And it's a race to find that. So it looks like Willard's going to be doing that, the Breadsmith's Purple Chest, Peg Cave, while Xyrak already ahead of him on that aspect, checking locations that we haven't seen yet. It's getting a little worrisome. There's not too many locations left over where this flute can be. We got Ice Palace, we got Turtle Rock, and the overworld in Death Mountain. Some love in this Super Bunny Cave.
Yep. And Xyrak's gonna be able to actually pick up silver arrows while he's here too. Maybe check out to see what the pendant is that's at, or sorry, what the medallion is at Turtle Rock. Doesn't look like he's going to check that out at all. Oh, looks like we got a B for the first chest in the Hookshot Cave. 2 chests remaining. 1 chest remaining. What are we gonna see? Is it gonna be flute? No, but he's still gonna want to go and grab those silver arrows while he's here. Oh, maybe not, actually. Oh, never mind.
I'm thinking that he might have forgot about it and just at that last minute go, oh yeah, right, silvers are here.
Yeah.
Because it was so early that they had access to this area and they saw it. It's at least a good hour ago that they were here.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so where do you want to see the flute? Do you want to see the flute deep into Turtle Rock, or do you want to see the flute in the Ice Palace?
I always enjoy a trolley seed, so I'm gonna stay deep in Turtle Rock.
Alrighty, let's see where Xyrak goes. He's going for it.
Oh, but it's Quake,
Quake.
which they don't have. So, oh boy, could we see Quake maybe in Ice Palace and then flute in Turtle Rock?
I mean, you said you wanted a trolley seed, and
Yeah,
that itself would be pretty trolly.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Chat calling out for Quake and Ice Palace, flute and Turtle Rock.
Wow, and Xyrak getting a whole bunch of fairies there.
Yeah, Xyrak actually has the bug net, so could have used a little bit of that to pick up. Should he have dropped the bee out of the bottle? Now it's interesting, Xyrak has a lot more health and actually has the half magic here. Could have escaped this area without any problem, but decided to save that for, I'm going to assume, Ice Palace coming from Xyrak. It's gotta be the only play left for our runners.
Yeah, I think we'll see both of them diving into Ice Palace at this point. Xyrak must be a little bit nervous now. Thinking, oh, I left 2 chests behind. I wonder if it could be there.
I don't know. With a full dungeon to go through, 2 full dungeons once you have access to it, I don't think Xyrak is as concerned. I mean, when you're going up against strong racers, you definitely look at the clock at like 1:20 and go, okay, you know, this is crunch time. It's either make it or break it. And the farther that goes along without finding that item, it gets more nerve-wracking.
Yeah, Willard grabbing his silver arrows. And then at this point, his next play should be Ice Palace as well.
Willard getting his silvers.
So now the real question is, how deep in Ice Palace will these players have to go? Are they going to find Flute right at the beginning here?
I mean, that's the ideal situation for them, but we still want that Quake to Turtle Rock kind of a situation.
Oh yeah.
Willard doesn't look too happy about that medallion that he needs in order to get into that. A lot of us know that Willard loves an early Turtle Rock. Chat is against the Flute in Ice Palace idea.
So we know that unfortunately a pedestal seed is not going to be possible. Willard did check the pedestal and we know that it's just rupees there.
And
We
given
did
the
check
items...
Mahashala as well, so it can't be there either.
Setting up for a bomb jump here for Xyrak.
Nails
Beautiful.
it, perfect.
Seen some Quake on Cold Stare. Shout outs.
Confirm Ganon has Flute. That'd be one way to keep the Hyrule from being saved. Xyrak, unfortunately thinking again that he had the hookshot out, but accidentally had bombs.
Ganon sitting behind his wizard going, ha ha ha, looking for this? Guess you can't complete your game. You know, when you think about it, for as small as an item for somebody to hold on to, that would be a great way to secure your evil plan.
Yep.
So for all of you world domination enthusiasts out there, just find that one thing that your hero is looking for and just hold on to it. But chat's going wild because Xyrak has found Quake in Ice Palace. And I know you probably want to say something about that.
Oh, and the tempered sword. I swear I'm not a witch. Promise.
Even if you were, I would still hope that nothing bad would happen to you. we need you too much in this tournament.
So it looks like both players are actually opting to go the exact same way. So Willard grabbing his tempered sword here before heading up to grab Quake. And I wonder if this is going to make Willard mirror out. He's found 2 good items in here. The likelihood of a third is kind of a little bit low.
I mean, I half expected it from Xyrak. Given so far what he's been doing in this seed, getting what he needs and then just, you know, omitting the last chest. But I think it's at this point where, oh, he thought about it.
Yep, he did think about it. Ooh, unfortunately, Xyrak not making the bomb jump there. So he's gonna have 1 chest left, and hopefully it's not anything like the flute.
It needs that big key, though. So it's likely that Xyrak is going to be defeating Cold Stare and then hoping that it's the last item in this dungeon.
Yeah, well, we've seen Xyrak make multiple plays so far with the last item. Ooh. Willard not actually going to grab the big chest. Interesting.
Yeah, I believe that he's going to be saving it for his way around.
So half a heart left for Xyrak. Does he have a bottle? I think he has green potion, but not a red potion. He has to be really careful here.
Looking super scary with how the video buffers.
Oh my gosh! One puff left. Cold stare. Oh, we haven't seen any pause buffering strats either.
Oh,
What?
did he make it? He made it.
Very nicely done. And he gets bombs. That's the last item for this dungeon. So it is not here, guys.
That's huge news for Xyrak.
That means we're seeing Turtle Rock.
All right. Well, still confirmed a witch, I guess, from last tournament. I'm sorry. I tried not to believe it. I tried to steer Chad away from it, but your powers too strong.
So, don't worry. That's what I'm dressing up as for Halloween.
A Zelda witch?
Yep.
Are you gonna dress up as the fortune teller? If you do, you have to have like a little stereo that has the doo 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 doo.
Very nice cold stare kill for Willard as well. And he's gonna get his third item. So it looks like he's gonna be heading to Turtle Rock as well. Oh, Xyrak. Oh, I thought he might have contemplated going into the basement there at Hera. I figured that maybe it was just in the back of his head.
I think it is, but I think Xyrak's gone so far with these gambles that there's no going back at this point. You gotta stay the course, gotta go where the seed is telling you to go, and it's telling him in all caps, Turtle Rock.
Oh yeah. And the funny thing is that yeah, Willard does love to make the T-Rock gambles. So this is a seed for him, that's for sure. So as Xyrak is entering Turtle Rock, this is now going to become an execution situation because Willard is still down one boss kill. He's going to need to find some time to catch up.
Yeah, mirroring out of Desert was a huge gamble for Willard, and unfortunately, it's just as the seed goes on that little bit of time save that he was anticipating not really working in his favor.
So the funny thing is this means that all three pendant dungeons were required.
Almost. Given the items that they did find, they could have dipped out and taken that risk. But I mean, an hour 30 minutes in this seed, and you're still looking for that one item. I would have gone all the way too.
I meant required to jump it too, not necessarily to complete.
I apologize.
Sorry, should have been more specific.
All right, so you want this flute deep in Turtle Rock, Laser Bridge, or behind Trinex.
Oh yeah, that would be beautiful.
Yeah, what Willard needs to catch up here is Xyrak needs to take a death. If Xyrak takes a death, it should give Willard enough time to catch up and finish off that death. Oh no! Oh no! You want to always watch out for those jellies. You want to slash them if you have the sword beams, but otherwise it's a lot less trouble to just go and take the hit.
All right, so looks like Xyrak has found the big key, and he has all the safeties necessary with the powder, and I believe he still, though, has green mail in comparison to Willard's blue mail.
Oh yeah, Xyrak is definitely going to be taking a lot more damage during this. We see Willard utilizing the damage boost on those rollers. Gets the key from the Pokey. Turns into Celeste.
All right, let's
back to
see.
the Moogle.
Flute!
Oh no!
That's the flute, guys. So Willard's about to get his flute as well, but again, this has become an execution heavy portion because Willard still needs to go and defeat Lanmolas, which is about another minute added on.
Yeah, it's a really unfortunate mirror. I mean, that's definitely something that we gotta ask him. You know, mirroring that early into the game and choosing not to go through the Lanmolas kill.
For a second, I thought he wasn't gonna go down here.
Oh, you thought I was gonna get like the Pokey Key and like progress on deeper into Turtle Rock?
Yep. Sometimes that muscle memory, though, can make people do things like that.
Oh, absolutely. There's been numerous times where, not to self-advertise, but in a No Major Glitches run, after doing some randomizer, you accidentally rando yourself. You check a chest you don't need to. You go a different way in a dungeon, or you do something a little bit out of character of like the normal run.
Yeah, and with all 3 medallions, we are guaranteed that they have access to this dungeon.
Yeah, we know that there's nothing else that Xyrak needs to check. These chests could contain something like an additional safety item like a shield, Cane of Burna, or a mail upgrade.
Yeah, and we're seeing the bird toss from Xyrak.
Beautiful, beautiful bird toss from Xyrak.
Yeah, perfect execution. I give it a 10 out of 10 bird toss.
Yeah, let's see if Willard does the bird flip also.
Oh. So are we gonna see him go straight into Misery Mire, or maybe we might see a mirror to go do Desert Palace while he's here? Nope, looks like, you know, I wonder if he even remembers that he hasn't done Desert.
I think he does. He's opened up his map or his menu up a couple of times, and you see those 2 crystals at each end, 1 and 7, both still missing. So I have to say that Desert is often the second choice in this one. You know, he only has to go through and defeat Lanmolas. Doesn't need to check anything else. So you want to get this one out of the way and then take care of everything else that's behind you.
Xyrak's heading through Misery Mire. The first chest was just the shield. That's their first shield, its entire seed.
Yeah, the shield has been not the shield. The seed has been very shieldless. Alliteration has defeated me once again. And I saw something interesting in chat. I do want to say that, you know, both of these racers are here because of their skill level. They are matched up based on a Z-score that was obtained during qualifiers. So, you know, they're giving us a amazing race. They're giving us a even matchup, as opposed to some matchups in the previous tournament were not as even-sided. So, you know, if you didn't see Xyrak in like the last tournament, that's because Xyrak has been, ever since that tournament, just practicing and doing races and looking up strategies and perfecting his technique in these dungeons. So definitely give both of these guys a wonderful follow. Show your support. You're going to see a lot more of them in this tournament.
So looks like Xyrak decided to go the other way. And looks like Willard is doing the exact same thing. Neither of them checking these other areas first here. Unfortunately, I did not get a chance to see what Xyrak picked out of that last chest.
It was the Cane of Burnham.
Oh, nice! My favorite item.
You like the Cane of Burnham?
Oh yeah, sparkles. Of course I do.
I had to say that probably one of my favorite strats to use with the blue cane, although it heavily lags the game, is to defeat the Armos Knights with the Cane of Burna.
I've honestly never seen that.
Kids, load up your practice ROM, give yourself the Cane of Burna and half magic, and go to town on the Armos Knights. You will not be disappointed. So we see the big key in the vanilla location for Xyrak.
So we got Xyrak heading down to Vitreous. And Willard picking up his key. He's also going to be heading to Vitreous. So one dungeon remaining for Xyrak. Willard still having to go and defeat Lanmolis. It's all going to come down to execution now.
Cane Dash from Xyrak. So both of our contenders have silvers in hand. So silvered and tempered. So I think we're just going to see the silver strat here of Vitreous much faster. Willard having a little bit of trouble with the block here.
This is not the time for this to be causing him troubles. Xyrak is already pretty much at Vitreous. So, and again, both players have silver arrows. We could see the dash strats, which it looks like we might see. Nope, it looks like we're actually just seeing the spin slashes.
Upon glancing at Xyrak's arrow count, I don't blame him for utilizing this route as opposed to shooting each of the eyeballs. You definitely want to go into G-Tower with as much arrows as possible. If you have to go through the Armos Knights, and you definitely have to go through the Mimics.
Yeah, I just thought it was really interesting. Xyrak shot the wrong way, but Vitreous decided he was going to instead lightning all around him, but not actually hit him with it.
Yeah, you don't see this very often, but bosses working in favor of the player in an unfortunate standpoint. Xyrak was going to drop those silver arrows into Vitreous, but had to get through the lightning animation.
All right, so Xyrak heading up to Ganon's Tower. It is time for that guessing game that we all love so much. Where is the big key in Ganon's Tower?
Yeah, I mean, while Willard is behind, it can come down to just an insane gamble. The only one I can really think of is if and you hate to see it there, but Tower Room. If the key's in Tower Room and nobody ever makes this play, but if Willard, thinking that he's behind, makes this insane play to check Tower Room first, it can just come down to straight execution.
And the thing is, will either player feel like they're behind? They've both routed very well throughout this seed. It's still fairly early on. Neither of them have taken any deaths or whatever that have really cost them a lot of time. So I'm really interested to see what kind of plays these two make.
Yeah, the only death that happened, I believe, was on Xyrak's side while he was trying to take the big bomb to the double-chested fairy. But, I mean, yeah, I have to think that both of our Razors are actually thinking, okay, where's my opponent? You know, especially if they're familiar with each other in races. And a lot of people are very familiar, as Willard is very notorious for doing race after race after race.
So as Xyrak is heading into Ganon's tower, Willard is completing his final boss battle. Oh, did not get the one cycle, just needs one more hit there. And very nicely done.
All right, so we're not seeing a free G tower. We see a
but
red
we are
rupee.
seeing we're seeing a right side though.
Yeah, this is what we were talking about. You know, do either of our races feel like they're behind? And I have to say, you know, yeah, they both got to feel like they need to make these risky plays.
So if it's right side, this could be huge for Xyrak. Oh, unfortunately though, he got himself blocked out again.
Yeah, if you forget, it's so easy to forget what male Xyrak has, but Xyrak has not gotten any of the male upgrades and is still running around in G Tower with just the green male.
Wow, this right side room did not pay off particularly well. Hopefully, maybe the chest after Ice Armos might yield him some better results.
Oh, absolutely. So deciding to take this route around G Tower, he's going to be able to check Ice Armos as his next couple of chests, which can be really damaging for Willard if Ice Armos does contain the key.
Yeah, Willard makes some crazy Ganon Tower gambles sometimes. His routing in Ganon's Tower has been known to fluctuate. All right, so doesn't look like the Bob chest held the big key.
Ooh, Willard going left side. Are we about to see the Dark Magician coming here from Willard?
Ooh, hello, red mail. But it is no time for red mail. Willard needs to go.
Yeah, Xyrak might be happy to see that blue mail and might pick it up.
Well, I actually don't think. Nope.
Oh,
it does not
no.
look like, unless he doesn't have a small key, so he might opt to go left side. No, he's going right up the middle. He doesn't.
No. Oh no.
This could be a big deal if there is no key up here.
Yeah, this is super risky. All right, so for some of you that don't know, you want a small key going up here because it guarantees you all the way through. But Xyrak is taking this gamble that one of these last remaining 3 chests has a small key. So yeah, this is all time that Willard needs to catch up and be able to take this win. You know, it might come to that situation where they're both going up this tower and it comes down to execution alone.
Yep. Oh wow, this is insane.
You know, as a commentator, you want to see stuff like this. You want to see, like, you know, excitement kind of come up, misfortune, and, you know, just things to make things a little bit more even, because it's a back and forth. You can sit there and it makes the race exciting. But as a fan for Xyrak, you gotta be hoping and praying that he's gonna be finding a key here. Or if you're rooting for Willard, you know, you're excited because it's gonna give him the time that he needs to catch up.
Yeah, and there's only, I believe, 3 chests before he's gonna need that key. So he's got oh boy.
Oh man, so Willard choosing to go all the way back through, so could have gone from the right side all the way down to Ice Armos and gotten his key, but figuring, okay, it might be in the randomizer room. It might be in the double fireball room. So it can still come down. It can still come down to execution alone if Xyrak does not find a key here.
Oh, hello, Butter Sword.
That's huge. If it comes down to execution alone, Willard has a advantage.
Yeah, 6 hits instead of 12 on Ganon, so... Oh boy.
Yeah, it's definitely better to have only 6 hits on Ganon, safety-wise and fight-wise. You can get 1 cycle on each of those. Those phases, I should say. Oh, not modes. Ganon doesn't have modes.
Yeah, in order to catch up, Willard needs Xyrak not to find a key. If Xyrak finds a key, then it's gonna be a lot of trouble for Willard.
Yeah, he's got to find 2 keys. One of them is for sure on the mini Helmasaurs.
Oh, unfortunately, Xyrak falling off here.
Ah, I see what he was doing. He was trying to get the left or the right side done at the same time.
All right, there's 1 key. So he needs 1 more. Oh, a heart container. And a small key!
Oh, are you kidding me?
Oh my god, there's no way! This is insane!
It's unfortunately... That's the most amazing amount of luck that I've seen in Ganon's Tower.
I've never been so hyped over a small key before.
I would have to say that Xyrak is probably at that, if not more hyped for that small key. We definitely have to ask if he knew that he didn't have the key or if he was just making that gamble, because every move that Xyrak has been doing is a little bit unconventional. Skipping the left side on Swamp Palace, skipping the tile room in Hera, going up to Ganon's Tower without a key.
Skipping the shovel location, then going back for it immediately thereafter.
Oh yeah, I mean, Xyrak has just been making such insane gambles, and I gotta imagine that it has to do with like this tournament and who he got matched up with. Getting a win this early in the tournament is a huge bonus for your confidence and for the remaining races, because as you know, you need 4 wins to move on definitely, and then 3s and 2s might send you into some kind of tiebreaker. But man, this is insane.
Yeah. Xyrak heading into the Ganon fight. Tempered Sword means he's gonna need 12 hits on Ganon to progress him through the first and second phase. So we'll see it here. So he's doing spins at the bottom here.
Yeah, it's not bad. Spins do Tempered Sword damage, so he would only need to do 6 spins. Sets up in the corner.
Trying to get in the corner here.
Yeah, it's looking like it's gonna be another so single phase for both 1 and 2.
Yep. He's gonna need 4 hits here. He's got 1 so far. I think 2 now. Third. 1 more. He's gonna hope to get that hit off before Ganon teleports or throws the bat, so that he can get that single arrow shot in there before he gets Torch Glitch. Ooh, if Ganon would have been a little closer, he might have actually been able to have set up for a triple there.
Oh yeah, you want Ganon to kind of get up on that torch locate, or where that torch is, because if he gets close to the edge and you try to shoot him with the silver arrow, it's not going to quite make it. Ooh, unfortunately missing one silver right there. Had to set up at the lower end.
G to Xyrak. Oh my goodness. What a race.
Yeah, what a performance by Xyrak here.
Yep.
I don't think I've ever seen anybody be so risky in a seed.
And Xyrak completing with a first place time of 1 hour, 49 minutes, and 52 seconds. Congratulations to Xyrak on the victory.
Ooh, and it looks like over on Willard's screen, ran out of magic, had to use torch to reach that last little bit that he had to line up.
Yeah, and Willard not grabbing any magic on the way down.
Looks like we have Xyrak in the waiting room. Did you want to pull him in, or do you want to wait? Do you want to wait for Willard as he's getting so close and interview him together?
I think we can wait for Willard.
Alrighty. I will make sure to let them know.
But yeah, it looks like Willard's going to be heading into the Aghanim 2 fight, and he does not have the bug net, so no Swaganim. No validation chest either, guys. So first double hit on Aghanim here. Willard needs 4 more hits. Gets a single. And a triple. Very nicely done for Willard.
Oh yeah, didn't get some good patterns on Aghanim too, but brought it all together right at the end. So we'll be able to see how quickly he handles Ganon here with this gold sword.
Oh yeah. 6 hits. There's gonna be some easy 1 cycles. He has multiple bottles and I believe a bunch of potions, so he might just pop a potion right off the bat.
Oh yeah, he's gonna have to. Willard chugging down some Gatorade.
He needs 2 more hits here. Or 1 more hit, I guess.
Ooh, Willard showing off the dash strats on Ganon.
Setting up for his silver arrows. Gets his first hit off on Ganon. 3 more remaining to bring him to the last phase. So that's the first shot, and is he gonna get torch glitch with the fire rod? Oh, unfortunately misses the torch glitch, but with silver arrows, it's no big deal. Able to get a double there. Very nicely done, and last shot on Ganon. Congratulations to Willard for finishing the seed.
Yeah, with a respectable time too, 153. We're gonna get the seconds here.
He just fell. He just fell.
Oh!
Oh my god, he just fell! Willard! What? What? What are you doing, Willard?
So it looks like the race still isn't over. Willard still has Ganon on the table to finish. I'm excited to see how Willard takes this Ganon fight. Because we've totally never seen Willard take down Ganon at all today.
Yeah, this is the first time we're seeing Ganon on Willard's screen. Oh my gosh! Let us see the your bads in chat for Willard. Oh my gosh, I can't even. Oh, very nicely done. First and second phase.
We're gonna have to leave it up to Willard to count all of these your bets and appropriately add it to his counter.
Yes, exactly.
But I mean, on a serious note, you gotta feel for the guy. I mean, there's a lot of times that like you set up for Ganon, and you know if you're stressed, you're trying to do the race that we've seen like even very experienced racers fall on Ganon. So, I mean, we joke, we kid, we give him a hard time about it, but like it's something that could just happen to anybody.
Oh yeah. Oh, very nice torch glitch.
Scaring me there. Almost falling off. Whenever you slash Ganon that close to the ledge, you definitely need to be holding up.
Oh my God, Willard, please don't do this to me.
He was trying to set up.
No,
He's trying to. Yeah, he's trying to set up for it. Trying to set up for the moonwalk.
Oh my God, GG
Right.
to Willard, officially finishing with an SRL time of 1 hour, 55 minutes, and 35 seconds. All right, let's get him in here.
All right, so we have the winner of our matchup, Xyrak here. I hope I didn't butcher your name throughout the entire stream.
No, you got it. That's it. Soft X is the hard part. The rest is easy. But yeah, thanks.
Congratulations on your victory.
Thanks a lot. It feels good.
You made some crazy gambles.
I don't know.
such insane gambles. I could not stop talking about him. You left the chest down in Hera in the basement. You left that one. You left the chests in Swamp Palace on the left side away, and then to cap it all off, did you know that for absolute safety to have that small key before climbing up Ganon's tower?
I will completely say that I lucked out for that. I realized about halfway up the gauntlet that I didn't have it. It's so incredibly rare to not have the small key when you go right side first, because there's so few key doors. And so it never struck my mind when I got the big key at Armos that I wouldn't have one. But about halfway up the gauntlet, I was like, I don't have a key. Oh my God. And then thankfully the mini Helmasaur room bailed me out.
Yeah, it was so clutch. I can tell you the entire way up, we were all on the edge of our seats, just wondering.
I'll bet.
Just wondering if you were gonna find that key. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I know. My heart, once I realized I didn't have it, my heart was in my mouth the rest of the whole way up there until I got it. Yeah.
When did you realize that you didn't have that key? Like, how far up the gauntlet were you when you noticed that you still needed that small key?
I think it was when I was switching to the powder after the last room in the gauntlets. Like to powder the Anti-Fairy. I noticed, like, for some reason, just because of the graphics moving, I noticed, and I was like, oh my God, that key count says 0. Like, yeah.
Yeah,
Thank
it
God.
was,
yeah.
it was something, that's for
Thank
sure.
God.
And also, I want to say, welcome, Willard. Congratulations on finishing the seat.
Woo! GG, Xyrak.
GG, Willard.
Let me guess. Did you finish Ice Palace, or did you get the Quake and leave?
I finished it. I actually, when I killed Cold Stare, I had half a heart and no magic left, I think, if I remember right.
Okay.
I definitely had some heart and mouth.
That Cold Stare fight was scary. A lot of your interactions with this seed were really scary.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, because I Mothula with Fighter Sword to yeah, I was so nervous throughout this whole race. I'm sure you guys could probably tell because I did so many weird things, like blowing up the back of Hype Cave and then leaving to get bombs and coming back or something. Like, I was like, what did I do that for? Yeah. But yeah, no, it was a scary seed, and like, I had 6 crystals 57 minutes in, and then it was 50 minutes of looking for the flute. It was, ugh.
You guys were actually really, really close for a vast majority of the of the seed, at the same point you guys were both killing Mothula, it was a synced crystal drop.
Oh, we high-fived on the Mothula crystal. That's nice.
Yeah, Willard had the Master Sword at that moment. You were still rolling around with a Fighter Sword, but I was excited to see you hammer that moth. Not an easy thing to do, but I gotta ask, Willard, I saw you mirror in desert so early into the seed, and that's one of the things that had been keeping you just about a minute and a half behind. You guys were finding items pretty similar. You guys were making a lot of the same gambles, but that desert palace mirror out.
Why would that make me behind? There was no other items there. I figured I'll just come back when I do Mire, and I'll have better weapons to beat it quicker. I don't think it made a difference.
I mean, didn't you have a fire source in order to complete the dungeon?
Yeah, but I would have had to run all the way around when I could have just mirrored and gone up and finished it later.
Yeah, I actually seriously considered that myself when I was there.
I think it saved time
to do it. Yeah, probably did.
Because then I would have had to have done Master Sword or Ice Rod or Land Mola, which, you never know how that's going to go. Instead, I got to do Tempered Fire Sword.
Yeah, it was fairly close. Honestly, you guys should definitely watch the VOD because it was super close. Different plays from each of you, but you all kind of ended up going to the same places, just in a different order. I have to ask, Xyrak, you went to talk to Stumpy and then check the flower circle, but then had the shovel at the same time.
Yeah.
But ended up having to come back a second time to check the shovel location.
Did you
just forget?
I sure did. Yeah, I sure did. My biggest self-criticism on this run was I had 5 or 6 moments of stuff like that in the seed. Like I went back into swamp, miscounting items, realizing there was only one left on the left side, I'm pretty sure. Which I normally wouldn't bother going back in there. I had 5 or 6 little derps like that. And that's kind of like, until I found the flute, I was like expecting Willard to GG at any point, really, because I was like, I just like all these little mistakes are probably adding up to like 5 or 6 minutes that I really should have otherwise. But, thankfully for me, the seed trolled really hard on the flute. Yeah, so that worked out.
And Willard, I have to ask, that Ganon fight. Did you walk off on purpose?
Kind of. I opened up IRC, saw that I lost, so I walked off.
Oh, okay.
Or I wasn't paying attention. Honestly, if I hadn't seen that he lost, I don't know. I probably would have fallen down anyway, because I was looking at IRC, typing in .done, and then music stopped, walked up, so that would have been funny.
Oh, you got the music fall? Oh.
Well, I just was at the top of the arena, so...
Oh, okay.
I just wasn't paying attention. So yeah, this seed was interesting, because it really just turned out to be a very linear game. It was literally... I had all the crystal dungeons done. I just needed Mire and the crystal from Desert, and it's like, okay, here's 3 pendant dungeons. Pick which ones you can go to. Oh wait, you can only go to Swamp, and then you go to Swamp and full clear it because you never know what you're going to find in there. Find one item. Oh, cool, great. Well, now you can do a bunch of overworld stuff and then go to T-Rock maybe. Nope, you need Quake. Oh, guess where Quake is? It's an Ice Palace. And you go ahead and full clear that dungeon because you're not going to leave Ice Palace when you only need one more item because you could skip T-Rock altogether. And yeah,
this was a super tough seed. I mean, the crazy thing is Hype Cave in the middle of this run, we're just losing our minds because you're finding Samaria, he's finding Mirror and Bow. I mean, just this middle of the seed was just so item rich.
I know. I thought it was going to be a free meal. That was going to be easy.
Yeah, so did I. Yeah.
Easy to complete the game, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh wait, no, hold on. This is version 26. I don't think you understand.
Oh yeah,
we're not done yet.
Yeah, it definitely pulled that wool over your eyes. Unfortunately, given a couple items early on, and then being rich middle, and then it was like, but wait, you don't forget what version I am.
Mhm.
And it definitely made you guys remember that. But man, such a great race to commentate, and such a great performance from both these racers. I've already spammed it before. I said it once before. Both of us have followed these amazing racers. You're going to see more of them as we get through these brackets, or not brackets. These switch ones, and you'll see them in brackets.
Yo, Xyrak, did you finished Swamp, right? You just skipped like the left side or something?
Yeah, I skipped left side. Yeah.
Thought process? Just taking a gamble?
Pretty much. Again, unless I miscounted, I actually went back in thinking I had the big key, and then when I got to the big chest and didn't have it, I was like, oh, did I miscount?
Oh, okay.
And then I looked, and I was pretty sure I had the big key and the compass were both still missing, so it was like, there's only one item over there. I still had a ton of overworld left at that point too. I did Swamp before I really did my big overworld clear, so I was like, I think the only thing, I didn't know I needed ether, but I was like, if the flute is in there, then GG's Willard. I mean, I'm not going back.
Yeah, I was hoping that getting ether was going to be my saving grace, because I went back up to Village of Outcasts and did the whole North Graveyard all the way to Catfish before committing to T-Rock or something? No, before going to Swamp. So I had ether going into Swamp, I think. Yeah.
Oh, okay. When I finished Swamp, I went back and did a whole big sea around the map. I brought the purple chest on a nice little world tour.
Uh-huh. So, I guess, honestly, I was hoping that my execution would pull me out of... Because I didn't really take any gambles. Like, there were, like, pretty much 0 gambles for me in this seed because it became so linear. The only gambles one could have taken have been like, well, I got that next item that I need. I'll skip the rest of this dungeon, which you could have done in Swamp, you could have done in Ice, and obviously in T-Rock. So, but that's just it's a scary gamble to make, because you skip Argus and he has the item, or Sahasrahla has the next item, and you have to go all the way back through that.
Yep.
So.
Yep. Yeah, no, I gambled on leaving like one chest behind here or there if that was the case, but otherwise I really didn't. But all that being said, my execution was not to the standard I hold it to usually for the seed, so that's to work on for next time. But
I bonked a lot. That's about it.
yeah, like I said, I just had those 5 or 6 little dirt moments where I was like, "What the heck am I doing?" You know what I mean? And just, like, that's 20 seconds every time that adds up. So.
Mm-hmm. Well, GG. Enjoy getting Christos next round.
Yeah, right. GG's to you too, though, sir. That was fun.
It was.
It was a great run. Honestly, it was a great race to commentate and to watch. And both of these runners did a fantastic job. And I can't wait. Honestly, I can't wait to see the remainder of your guys' matches, because it's going to be fantastic.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for commentating, Saku and Innies. I think Herfy had the tracking, so thanks as well. And of course to Feasel. This tournament is a really big deal, so thanks a lot to all you guys and all the admins.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Awesome. Can't wait to go back and watch this. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we gotta give it up for Herfy on tracking. Was on top of everything.
Yeah, absolutely. Very, very, very well done from everyone involved today. And I know that there is another race that's going on Speed Gaming 2 at the moment. And there's going to be some more from the secondary tournament on Randomizer Mania as well. So we have lots more of the tournament. So make sure you guys are following Speed Gaming so that you can stay on top of all of these matches, because you're not going to want to miss them. They are fantastic. These races are just amazing to watch. And looks like we also have Earthbound that's coming up right on this channel as well. So, yep. Hopefully you guys stick around, and thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Sakura Tsubasa, and thank you so much, Ninnies, for joining me today on commentary.
Oh yeah, I had a blast, and it's always a blast to commentate with such an amazing tournament, such an amazing group of people hanging out in chat, making sure that we're on point. But yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Enjoy Earthbound, or if you're heading over to Speed Gaming 2, enjoy some more amazing commentary over there.
Bye guys.